See, most people don't know who the hell they really are. Do not know who they are. They all think they know who they are. We ask some people who they are, and they're reaching for their wallet to give you their card. I always have to balance, in an audience, you don't want to be too bad. I want to say two bad things. But I would really like you to know that you don't know who you are. See, it comes out as an attack, doesn't it? And I really don't want it to come out. I really don't want it to come out like that. It's meant to come out as an opportunity. If you put it together as well as you put it together without knowing who you are, what could happen if you really knew who you were? I always think that's exciting. Every once in a while, I realize, well, wait a second, you phony. You don't know who you are. You're pretending to be this, that, or the other thing. Is that who you really are? I always get a little twinge of, but then I, wait a second. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. So I gotten up here, to where I am knowing who I am, and then finding out who I am could make a real difference in my life. I'm going to go for that. So I'm saying to you and me that in part and in a major part, that's a function of not making certain distinctions, who you are. Who I am is a car which you steer, but nobody knows. Well, steer with what? See, we don't make the distinctions. What's it just steering? What's the difference? It's just cattle. It's all brown. What's the difference? Check out 2 videos ago to see the beginning of the African tribesman. See, if the herdsman couldn't make the distinction of his cattle, would be dead. So would he. So would he. We don't make that distinction about ourselves. We will be dead. And most of us are dead. The living dead. Upright dead people who are upright and dead. People are eating the menu in life instead of the meal. Was it Kenny Brooks says people die at 18 and live to 80? Struggling valiantly to get some of the meal, but not being able to because of a lack of a certain distinction. This domain of knowing in which what you know is created. That sounds like I mean pretended, doesn't it? Or made up, or fantasized. I don't mean made up, fantasized, or pretended at all. I mean literally created, generated. I mean called forth. Physics is a very good example of calling forth. Einstein called forth a new domain, never existed. He invented it. He didn't fantasize it. He didn't pretend it. He literally created a new context for physics called relativity. Same thing with flying. The Orville brothers, Orville? No, Orwell, Orville, right? Yeah. They didn't fantasize flying. They didn't pretend flying. They literally created a context for it. Humanity is strewn with those kinds of examples. No one ever makes the distinction that that's what they are. See, human rights. You and I think human rights, so everybody knows about that. But it was not so much. It wasn't so long ago that didn't even exist. Human beings did not have rights. Kings had rights, priests had rights, but human beings did not have rights. You and I don't know that human beings created from nothing the domain of human rights. They called it up. They languaged it. They communicated it. And communication has that power. It has the power not only to represent and not only to evoke, but literally to bring into being and to know yourself as a context creator is to transform the quality of your life. See, people are pretty stupid. They think they're going to do something and that's going to change everything. If you do nothing, everything will change. If you do something, everything will change. Change is a constant. Things change. You ever notice that? Things change. They always change. It's a constant change. Is concerned, things always change. It's a constant change is concerned. Things always change. And did you also notice that the more they change, the more they stay the same? Like, you think if only I could find the right job, 40, 50, okay, then my life would be perfect. Then everything would be made. And you get the right job and it's wonderful for 2 weeks. And then it's like it always was. Well, if only I could get promoted. Well, if I could only find the right woman. Well, if I could only get rid of this woman. See, people think that life is a function of their circumstances. And for the most part, poor suckers, it is a function of their circumstances. And for most poor suckers. Because the experience is circumstantially derived and they live in a vicious circle of concept-dominated experience, reinforcing the concepts, and so on and so on. And there's no real aliveness in that vicious circle. In the circle, there is no happiness. There are symbols of happiness, but not happiness. In this circle, there is no love. There are symbols for love, but no real love. There's no health. You understand by health? I don't mean the absence of sickness. I'm talking about real vitality, talking about a body which is alive and equal to the tasks in front of it. I'm talking about being able to stay up for 2 or 3 days in a row when there's something worth staying up for. So there's no real health in the vicious circle, nor is there any real self-expression. And everybody watching this video knows that they got something inside themselves that they want to share, that they want to express to everybody, knows that they ain't expressing it, sharing it. They're not doing that. You know that feeling. They don't get me. They don't understand me. It's real. They don't get you, and they don't understand you. I wish it weren't true. I wish it was just that you were fooling yourself, but they don't. Because what you got to share of yourself isn't possible in this limited reality. And you can't have the other reality without creating it. And most of us, most of you haven't gotten courage to create, haven't got enough courage to create. I'm going to say one thing off the board for people in management. Maybe I'll say two things. I can't tell you at least one. I think there may be another that's tied to it. Essentially, people in management get paid for what isn't. I'll say it again. People in management get paid for what isn't, what is not. You know, you don't get paid if you're a manager or an executive for making what did happen. They pay you for what they want to happen or what will happen. So managers or executives get paid for what is not. Most managers and executives don't know that. So first off, it's a very good idea if you're an executive to know that what you're getting paid for is what isn't. So that you can start looking around at what isn't. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? Well, let me use a football analogy for those overseas, a American football analogy. In football, you got the quarterback. The quarterback makes things happen. He gets paid for what isn't. He gets paid for putting the ball where it isn't. He doesn't get paid for moving the ball around or running the ball or calling plays. Nobody gives a damn about that stuff. He might do that, but he gets paid for putting the ball where it isn't. And a good quarterback knows how to get the ball where it isn't. Then on Monday, you pick up the newspaper and you read all about the game that happened over the weekend. And that's called reporting or journalism. And it's very exciting to us. And we know all about what happened in the game. It's terrific, right? You read about the game and you get the color and some of the inside story, and it explains why they did what they did. It's really beautiful. But if you ever noticed, it doesn't make quarterbacks any better, has no impact on the quarterback. That whole language, that whole domain of conversation and communication has no impact on the quarterback. Might make him feel badly or make him feel good. Well, but has no impact on his ability to put the ball where it isn't. So the talk communicates. The coach is good at, if the coach is good again, the talk communicates. If the coach is any good, it makes a difference to the quarterback. So I make the distinction between coach communication and journalist communication. What I'm talking to you about with regard to management is called coaching management. Managers, executives get paid for what is not. You want to be an outstanding executive? Pay very close attention to what is not. You're paying attention to it, whether you like it or not. If you're an executive, if you know that that's what you're getting paid for, you can start doing it intentionally. Now, with respect to what is not, and I want to do this, so those of you who aren't in management, I'll do this quickly for those of you who don't care about all this stuff. It's useful almost any place, actually, if you can make the interpretation. But I'll do it quickly anyhow. because I don't care much about it either. So most people in the realm of what is, what do you do when you have something that isn't? And somebody says, listen, we don't have any X, Y, and Z, and your job is to get us some X, Y, and Z. What do you say? You say, well, let me do a study. Let me check it out. I don't know anything about X, Y, and Z. Let me check it out. I'll check it out. I'll see what's it all about, and I'll let you know. See, you think as a manager, as an executive, that what you get paid for is predictions. A prediction is a statement about the future, which you can explain. Yeah, we will get X, Y, and Z for you. And the way we'll do it is we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and we'll do this, and that'll result in that. We'll take that and move it over here. And after that, that'll be there. You got it? Yeah, I'm your man. I'll do it for you. Now, a good manager knows how to predict. A good manager knows how to gather facts, analyze the facts, take a look at what the elements are, has enough experience to see the way comes out as enough, has enough education and training to know how things work, but that'll never make a great executive, because the other domain in which to deal with what is not, besides prediction, is the domain called creation or declaration. Is a speech act declaration. You want to be a really great executive, start paying some attention, not to what you can predict, but to what you can declare. Now watch, don't be an idiot about it, because remember, communication requires a listener. If I'm going to make a declaration to the people with whom I work, I want it to be heard as something so. I don't mind if there's a little controversy around it. As a matter of fact, people who know me well know I like a little controversy around it. But I don't mean making fantastic declarations. I don't mean don't worry about that, about it. I'll take care of it no matter what it is. I don't mean that nonsense. I mean being able to take a stand, being able to make a declaration, being able to take responsibility can either be a predictive act or it can be a creative act. And really, top flight executives get paid for creation, not prediction. You can get any technician to produce a prediction. It takes a human being to produce a declaration and specifically to coach people in it. You need to know the distinction between the domain of creation and the domain of prediction. All right, hope you're having a great day. Peace, love, bye-bye. Later. See ya.